Hello YouTube, Jonathan Buford here again with my weekly video on issues having to do with becoming a digital nomad. So I was having trouble trying to think about what I wanted to do for my video today, and it just occurred to me that I just talked to a friend who is actually going to be starting a job teaching, and I don't know if that's his thing. I think he's just doing it for work. You know, I know the guy, and I used to live with him. He's a close friend of mine. So I remember there was a time when he was helping someone in town here do some content marketing and content production for her website or whatever it was, and he was on fire with it. I remember him being pretty stoked out, and that's what I think the guy has in him. He's got internet savvy, and he's good with marketing. I think he used to sell radio, and he was taking this job just because he's trying to find out what he's supposed to be doing. And man, we can get stuck in that for so long. So what today is about is the first step, and to refer back to ChrisTheFreelancer's video, his structure and framework for becoming a digital nomad, which I think is great. I'm just, once again, that video is really good, so I'm going to reference that again. Very similar to Tim Ferriss's plan as far as the steps and what to do. 1, build skills. 2, find work. 3, remove barriers. 4, what was 4? 4 is choose location, and then of course 5 is go. So this is step 1, building skills. And should I go online and just pick something and you know, see if I like it and try this and try that and do all that? There's a lot of videos on the internet, and a lot of different there's just so much out there as far as like different things that you can do that are location independent. But I will say that I think unless you just had an inspiration and you're acting on that and you've already been led, and that's where, you know, you're going in a direction that you feel good about, I think the first thing that really would help would be to get clear on some, you know, your strengths. Get clear on what you want to do, like get clear on what kind of mediums you like to work with, where you want to work, how you want to work. A lot of that stuff will be actually already clear to you because you know you want to be a digital nomad, you want to be location independent. Most of us want to have freedom to go and stay and kind of pretty much be where we want when we want to be there. So a lot of that stuff will be, you know, is already kind of clear to you. But I'll say I struggled for a long time, failed businesses, undirected schooling, and all kinds of not comfortable stuff until I basically got an intuitive hit. And I think God just was like, you know, here you go. Just what are you doing? Well, why don't you just do what I said to do? I got a strong intuitive hit some years ago. I saw this book in the college, the little community college where I'm getting my web development degree at, and it was a clear intuition. I walked up to it, the book was popping off the shelf, and like what I heard was, you should read this book. Yes, I hear voices. If you're telling yourself, well, I'm so glad I don't hear voices, that's the voice in your head. So didn't do it. 2 years of undirected schooling, and a lot of pain later. I came across Live Your Legend, liveyourlegend.org, and I forgot that guy's name. He has recently passed away from hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. So that's sad, but this guy's an expert on getting people out of cubicles and helping them get to a better place, moving towards their passion, their work, what they're supposed to be doing here. You know, I believe that each of us has something we're supposed to be doing, and I think that also changes with time, and it might be more than one thing, usually not. But to get back to the subject at hand, I didn't do the book. I went on his website, and he was like, okay, you got to do, without a doubt, like this is a no-brainer. You got to read the book, What Color Is Your Parachute? And I was like, oh, wow, I almost read that book when I was in student services that day and did not. So I picked it up finally and went through it. I got the actual What Color Is Your Parachute, this book from Dick Bolles. This is the workbook that goes along with it. They make them every year. It's been a New York Times bestseller for a long time. One of the all-time 100 best nonfiction books. Over 10 million copies sold. You're not really taking a risk here. You're not really taking a risk. I keep looking at the screen. Sorry. So I bought the book, and the book gave me hope because I was unemployed, and it was like, when you're unemployed, you feel like you're optionless. When options get put in front of your face, you feel hope. So he did say, this guy, I wish I could remember his name. I keep thinking Chris Gillibo, but it's not. I'll provide a link below to his website, liveyourlegend.org, and that's also a good resource. He said the value was in the workbook, so I got the workbook, and I read in this book up to the page where the workbook started, right? And then I just went on with the workbook. I did not go back and read the rest of it. I think I read the chapter on entrepreneurship, which I'm glad they have that chapter now. But even just this book can help you find out like what you want to do. Now, the inventory process, finding out, pulling this stuff out, the definition for educate means to bring out from within. So the process of working this workbook is all about kind of inventorying notes about my favorite knowledges. And if you can see here and how small the writing is, you can tell that I'm a perfectionist. So you don't have to put that much writing down. It's really not necessary. It just digs in. Your favorite subjects, matrix, and then there's these different formats that you put the information into so that it comes out in a form that really makes sense and can be a guiding light to you. And it's all about these different petals. It ends up being a flower. Here you see petal 2. My favorite people chart. Then you'll go to I'm a person who can do these particular things. And this is built on tons of research. This book's been printed for over 40 something years. I don't know how long. My first life story. And while you're doing it, you might think, why am I even doing this? But then as the information starts to culminate and you actually, wow, I really did smash the writing in here. But anyways, it's a good way to find out who you are. What do you like? You don't have to find something. I don't buy into the fact that I think it's a myth that we need to find something like right now that's our passion. It doesn't always work like that. I think sometimes, if you could just find something that you like, and that might be good enough. Like, I've turned my passion into I've monetized it before. Like I used to love snowboarding more than anything else in the world. I started teaching snowboarding. I became a professional snowboarder, and it wrecked it. It wrecked it. It's no longer snowboarding. I like scuba diving better. I still snowboard, but so that can be a matter of opinion. But at the same time, if you pick something that you like, that you do have some passion in, that will continue to drive you through the hard times. Back to the book. So you get done with all this stuff, and then you that's enough about it. If you care to get it, it's only $14.95. I think this book is a little bit more, but the value, like I said, is in this one. Once you have all the information gathered from in here, then you can go to, this doesn't come laminated. Like I said, I'm a perfectionist. I pulled this out of the workbook, taped it together, and laminated it. But if I can get this close enough to the camera without too much glare, probably not. Okay, so you've got 7 petals here. Goal, purpose in life, my preferred people to work with, what kind of skills do I have, transferable skills, my favorite working conditions, favorite knowledges, favorite mediums, preferred salary range, levels of responsibility, all the way to where I'd like to live, and then there's some other fun stuff in there too that can give you some real clarity on who you are. Like, what kind of stuff do you like? What kind of work won't you hate? That's a good place to start at the very least. So now I have this. I keep it on my wall, and it is a guiding light for me. There was a while back I wanted to be a psychologist. I was pretty sure it fit this more than anything I ever had, and I almost went into it, but then finally I realized that I wanted to do coding and work with code, web websites, building apps, and from there, all kinds of other stuff. I also love internet marketing and stuff like that. So it all fits for me. And I know now exactly what I want to do. And I know I actually brought that up to a friend. And he was like, wow, I want some of that. Because I told him I had this feeling that was like, I knew intuitively that I just no. I know like I know that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was looking at my homework one night for Adobe Dreamweaver, a text editor for building websites. So I had this feeling where I just knew that what I was doing was what I was supposed to be doing. I don't think I got there without a lot of work, without like researching stuff like this. I think it was the fact that I did the work, I did the footwork, I hustled, I grind. A lot of the stuff is work. But I got to a point of knowing myself good enough that when the answer came, I didn't just let it pass me by again. I actually grabbed it up and I went for it. Now I code every day. I am building this YouTube channel and working on building an online presence as well on social media, and I've got my website that I need to build out or customize. So yeah, it has done a lot for me. Now on that one site, liveyourlegend.org, the guy said and the second step, most definitely without a doubt, is get this book right here, Strengthsfinder 2.0. It's a very small book. It's nice. I like the front, the red chrome stuff. But anyways, you get the book. It's a small book to read. When you find out, you do the test that comes with the book. That's usually $20. So you might as well get the book off Amazon. I mean, because you'll have a book and you can refer to it. And then you'll do an online test as well to be able to find out your strengths. So I am a believer in leveling up weaknesses, but only to a certain point. I believe that really where the power is finding out where your strengths are. When you know where your strengths are, you can, when an idea comes across, or when you're watching a video like 50 best digital nomad jobs, you can just be like, wow, that kind of actually matches my flower and the test that I took on StrengthsFinder. And I've done lots of this kind of stuff. INTP, Briggs-Meyer testing, personality testing, the colors blue, green, orange, gold. I've done that. I've done a lot of stuff when it comes to this, but there's nothing more. These are the two things that I would recommend off the bat, no matter what, to start with. So then, when you have those two things done, when you've got your flower done, and you've taken an online test to find out what your strengths are, you can actually run that through the process of looking for jobs that are working well as far as being location independent. And that can help narrow the search, so you don't have to go down one thing by one thing by one thing and just be like, well, wait a second, I don't think content marketing is going to work for me. I don't think social media management is going to work for me. I hate coding or whatever. You already have a good idea, and that stuff, neural networks get built in your brain, and so you don't have to remember it all. At a certain point, you kind of know it, and then you can bring this stuff back up. Like I said, I keep mine on my wall, so if stuff comes up, then I run it through the process. I've already got the work done for at least this part of my life, I believe. So two things that I think will really, really help. I'll provide links down below for these two things, and if you'd like to leave a comment, that would be awesome, because I love learning from YouTube comments in the right places. They are positive and great. If you like the video, please do so below, and please subscribe, because it would really help me. Trying right now to get to 100 subscribers, and it's like crawling out of a dark pit. So I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a good day and that you enjoyed the video.